The views on a Breath of Fresh Air podcast reflects the parties involved, and we encourage you all to use it as a conversational tool that will lead to personal studies of your own.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Welcome to a Breath of Fresh Air podcast. Here with your hosts, Earl Roberts and Nakhaz. As a young person, Christianity can be so foggy, like smoke in the mirrors and so unclear. But we're here to bring you a breath of fresh air.
I catch you trying to deceive me. For what? You take my daughters, you run off with them like they captives at war or something. Held by the sword. Why? Why did you deceive me? Why you run off? Why you do all this in secret, bro? You know me? You's my nephew. We don't gotta act like this. If you'd have tell me this, I would have throw a party for you. A nice fiesta. You know how we used to do it? You remember the wedding? Come on. I would have bring back the timbrels, the harps, all that. Instead, you ain't even give me a chance to kiss my daughters goodbye. A chance to kiss my grandchildren goodbye. I used to look at you as a smart man, but you showing me you are a fool. Because only a fool will act this foolish, Jacob. I being honest with you. But now check this, right? I have it in my power to harm you, to do serious harm to you, but only by the grace of the God of your fathers, you good. Because God come to me and tell me don't talk to you, neither good nor bad, Jacob. And so I can respect that. But tell me this, you running off to the land of your fathers? Why you taking my idols? They don't even do idols over there, right? So why you steal my gods?
Ma Laban, I was afraid because I thought you would take your daughters away from me by force. I just know how you was go. But guess what? Your idols? I did not take your idols. That one is not on me. If you find anyone who has your gods, you can kill them. That person shall not live. In the presence of our relatives, see for yourself whether anything of yours is here with me. And if so, take it.
This your 10 over here, Jacob? I know Jacob got wait. So it ain't in Jacob one. Oh, he got 11 sons. It have to be in one of their bags. Oh, it ain't in the sons' bags. All right, where the servants at? Hold on, man. The servants don't. Oh, man, my own daughters. He hide them in their bag, you think? Leah. All right, yeah. Let me see that bag. Leah bag, Rachel. Rachel.
Oh, shoot. I can't catch with these idols. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put them under the camel.
All right, I can check her tent. But it ain't in her tent. Hold on. Let me see. You take it on them camels? Rachel, baby girl. Let me check them camel bags real quick, please.
Don't be angry, Daddy. I cannot stand. I'm on my period.
Oh, okay. All right, I understand, baby. Well, I mean, Jacob, misunderstanding, I guess. I know. What you think? I mean, I sure y'all take it in it somewhere. You know what I mean? But, all right, if you say you don't got it, all right, cool. I got you. Just whatever, I guess.
Ma Laban, what's my crime? How have I wronged you that you hunt me down? You searched through my whole house. What have you found that belongs to you? Anything? Whatever you find, put it in front of our relatives right now and let them be a judge between the two of us. I'm really tired of this. I've been trying to be calm, but I'm really tired of this. For 20 years, I've been in your household. Your sheep and your goats have never miscarried, nor have I eaten anything from your flocks. I did not bring you any animals torn by the wild beasts. I bore all that loss myself. And you demanded payment from me from whatever was stolen in the day or the night. This has been my situation for 20 long years. The heat consumed me in the daytime. The cold consumed me at night, and slept flat from my eyes almost every night. It was like this for 20 long years in your household. I worked for you for 14 years for your two daughters. I had still had nothing to my name, and I had to work 6 more years just to get something so I can support my family. And you took my wage and changed it 10 times when I was trying to make a name for myself. 10 times. If the God of my father, if the God of Abraham and in the fear of Isaac had not been with me, you would have surely sent me away with nothing, empty-handed. But guess what? God has seen the hardship and the toil of my hands, and last night he rebuked you. Jacob, some would say a trickster, others a creative negotiator. But no matter how it's spun, his deceptions or clever deals has had their consequences. And these consequences have pinned him against his family and his loved ones, making his life harder than it needed to be. However, after all of this turmoil, Jacob still had one important wrestling match left. And this one will change his life more than any other. In this episode of A Breath of Fresh Air, we will delve into Genesis chapters 31 and 32 and explore Jacob's wrestling matches.
All right, well, we back, with another episode of A Breath of Fresh Air. No guest this time,
Unfortunately.
What I'm saying? I just don't want y'all to get too comfortable with it. You understand? We still the BOFA boys now. You know what I'm saying? We still can hold it down at any given week.
Exactly.
So you guys, as you all know, we still covering our boy Jacob.
The Adventures of McGrabby.
McGrabby, he started off with a co-star and, he just went solo. And boy, he is sojourning in a line, and now he's making a new transition.
One would argue that he picked up, some other co-stars along the way.
Very true. But then, to me, they really they supporting roles, right? But he ain't none of them. No, Laban is a star. I ain't gonna lie. Laban is a star. I can't on Laban. You know I like Laban though. I like to describe his character. You know what I'm saying?
Uncle Laban.
But despite all of that, there seems to be some trouble in paradise. So the last thing we spoke about was Jacob in his agreement with Laban, where it was described as a win-win situation. You understand what I'm saying?
How you say agreement, but they did agree.
They did agree.
It was a very one-sided argument, in my opinion.
Right. And at the time of last week's episode, it was mutually beneficial on paper. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And this week's episode, we will see the results of said agreement. Right? So just to recap, it was like, hey man, I work for you for 14 years. I have 2 wives out of the deal. That's water under the bridge now. Mm-hmm. I would like to transition and build my wealth. I've been serving you your flocks and stuff like that. Let me just build my own flocks of my own now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just take your 2 daughters. So, I just want to build up something for myself.
Exactly.
And have something to show for it.
Right. And I'm a good shepherd. Hey, and you've been blessed up because of me, and you don't want me to leave.
I mean, but just think about this, right? You work 14 years of your life so far, but the only thing you really have to show for it is just 2 wives. And I'm not saying that they're not a valuable prize, but you just work 14 years of your life and you really don't have like $1 to your name.
2 wives, 11 sons, and no assets, bro.
That is insane.
That's insane. That's insane. So our guy came up with a master plan, and he's like, "Hey man, we're gonna start on a new journey of we're gonna build a new flock. I'll take care of them. New agreement. You don't lift a finger. And what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna raise this flock, and everything pure and white is yours. You get all of the pure bread." And I'll take the leftovers. I'll take the speckled, the spotted. You understand what I'm saying?
The weak.
Right. So anybody would agree to that. They'd be like, oh, really? That's what you're doing? Like, who would disagree with that? You know what I'm saying? Somebody telling you, I'm going to do all the work and you're going to reap most of the benefits in it. I'm just happy to get something out of the deal. That's the way he presented it to Laban. So
that old swindler.
Yeah, right. So we recognize Laban as somebody who doesn't pass up on the opportunity to get over on somebody in some type of way. You know, so to Laban it's like, man, and they say no such thing as a free lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe this just fell into my lap just like that. So we fast forward now, and it just so happens that the tables have turned. It did not go the way they had agreed upon. Well, it did. It did go the way.
Technically, it went exactly the way they agreed upon. But the thing is, it didn't go the way Laban envisioned it to go. It went exactly how Jacob wanted it to go.
Exactly.
So you get how you say that now.
Right.
It went exactly according to plan, and it was exactly what they agreed upon. Because at the end of the day, even though Jacob forced his side to win, it was true. Jacob still walked away with all the speckled sheep, the streaked lambs and whatever, and Laban got left with all the ones that were pure white.
Right. So technically Jacob upheld his end of the bargain.
Exactly.
So if they were to go to court, Laban does not have a strong case at all. You know, you got to read the fine print, buddy. You understand? You got to negotiate better. All right. So that's just a little preface of what today's episode is going to be like. So now, after all of this agreement and stuff like that, when it was all said and done, Jacob ended up with a superior race of flocks. They happened to be speckled, spotted, and all of that good stuff, but they were strong.
They were the strongest bad-looking sheep you could ever see.
Exactly, and they were extremely fertile.
Yes.
Whereas the ones without blemish were flimsy, you know, and they were less in number.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're taking this. So with that being said, we're starting at Genesis 32. And
Genesis 31.
Genesis 31.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it starts off saying that Jacob heard the words of Laban's son saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and beheld it was not towards him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, return unto the land of thy father, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee.
So now we see that Laban's sons realizing that, hold on, our brother-in-law is making more off of daddy than we're making off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob is getting pretty wealthy over there with this plan of his, and we aren't getting as much as we thought we would be getting. And then Jacob even look at Laban, because now Laban catch on to what Jacob doing. And Laban's like, hold on, something ain't right. And now we see Laban looking at Jacob little side eye now, like, this ain't right. Like, and Jacob seeing this. And you even see when God was like, hold on, no, you need to go back to the line.
Yeah, you need to get out of here.
Now.
Right. So to put things in context, bro, the only reason why Jacob was here in the first place is because there is a man, a close relative of him, that would like to kill him and then express that. When our father dies, I am going to kill you. His brother Esau, I'm talking about.
And why did he want to kill him?
Because Jacob stole the birthright.
Exactly. And
so now right. This is a creature of habit we're dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? So now God himself have to tell him, bro, it's time for you to leave, bro. You understand? Because he, once again, supplanted something from Laban. And now he's looking back and he's saying, bro, I look at the countenance. I look at the demeanor of Laban. And it's not like how it was before. No. He ain't happy. Oh, nephew, son-in-law, he not happy.
He ain't excited no more.
Right.
With my bone. No way.
Right. And I just want to add a little parallel between Jacob and Abraham. Abraham don't take what ain't his, whether he earned it or not. You understand what I'm saying? Jacob is the opposite. Jacob only takes what's not his. So far, based on the text, no lie. Jacob is like, he continues to take stuff that's not his, even though these should rightfully be his. He puts matters into his own hands.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And as a result, you can see where bystanders are looking and saying, this man getting rich off my father. That's the exact thing that Abraham never wanted. Bro, I'm not gonna take the spoils of war, bro. I don't want
That
any
is
man
true.
to ever say that you made me rich. You understand? Because it's God who make me rich. You feel
Exactly.
me? You understand? So it's like now Abraham's grandson, you can see he missed these lessons. And as a result, it's like everything that he's going through is because of these same lessons that he failed.
Yeah, like
So-
shoot.
Yeah. Oh my bad. I know.
What was also funny too was that, okay, so now Jacob, as we see in like verse 4, he starts going to Rachel and Leah, and he went out to them and saying, I see your father's demeanor towards me is not favorable anymore,
Right.
but the God of my father is still with me. And you know that all might I have been, like observed your father, yet your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times.
Mm.
But the Lord did not allow him to hurt me. But hold on. 10 times?
10
And
times, bro.
I really wish it would, because see, I don't think Jacob would have been mad if it was 10 times for the better. Because usually people don't
Right.
complain about a pay increase.
I never had someone complain about that. You understand?
You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, you may have wanted to gotten like a little bit more increase, but you're like, okay, at least I got a little raise. But how just picturing Jacob being so angry about this 10 wages, like this 10 times change. I'm thinking like Laban was changing his wage in such a way that Laban was still benefiting. Because we even, what you gonna say?
Yeah, context clues is telling us, bro, that these weren't favorable changes for Jacob. Especially because of the fact that after 14 years, he is complaining that, or he's devising a plan so that he can have some real estate or some assets of his own. Now, if your thing was being changed for the better, and as we'll see later on in the text, Laban admits that he has been blessed because of Jacob. I think they might have even mentioned that in the last chapter. I might be wrong, but
Last chapter, yeah.
right. So we know that for a fact that Laban, you are becoming wealthy because of me, and you're not hiding that. You understand? But if that's the case, why is your cash cow in a position where he has to complain about his wages?
And the next thing too, like we're gonna see this when Jacob complained about the wage changing 10 times again. And we're gonna have to get a little bit more context. So I'm gonna wait till we get there because we could see how Jacob really had the short end of the stick when he was really working for Laban. Like Jacob, he lay it all for everybody to see.
Well, and you know what? We can touch it when we get there, but it gives a lot of insight on the job description or like the tasks of a shepherd and the responsibility that they have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. But this one was interesting to me, bro. Right? My guy say, your father had deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me, right? So he's saying, bro, your daddy, because now your brothers want to kill me. So now he going to his wife's, his confidants, and he's saying, yo, honestly, your daddy won't kill me, right? I don't know why. He already swindling me. I work for him 20 years now. He done changed my wages 10 times, but only by the grace of God that he didn't hurt me. What type of employer is this, bro? Bro, you know what it is? You saying it's a blessing that he didn't hurt me?
That he didn't hurt me.
That he didn't hurt me, bro?
He's saying like your daddy was such a slave master to me. Like I'm happy he didn't hurt me. But everything else was just like slave labor.
Right.
And then Jacob went on to explain the deal he made. The speckle shall be your wages. And when all the flocks bore speckle, and thus if he said the streak shall be your wages, then all the flocks bore streaks. So God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me.
Right.
And see that line right there really had me thinking because I really want to know how much sheep was Laban really left with at the end of the day. Because this can have you thinking that it's all of them. But we know he was left with some. But it just really goes to show that Jacob was really taking away a significant portion of this man's wealth. And that might have even been really why the sons started to realize that, hold on, Jacob is richer than Laban.
Right. And so I don't doubt that Jacob probably ended up richer than Laban in this deal. But I'm just thinking, what about the flock that you had before this? You understand? Because it's like you use you use the animals to make your flock. You have to wait till they grow. You know, you have to feed them. This took 6 years. You had a 14-year head start on me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But also too now, because I mean, think about it. They probably were eating some of these animals, and some animals die. But now, if you have the weaker, less fertile flock, your flock isn't multiplying as fast, and the genetics they passing down ain't the best genetics. So your flock might just be, I guess, killing itself from within almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that alone is enough for somebody to be upset. Now, my issue is when people don't take responsibility for their own actions. Let's think about it, bro. You swindled me all of this time. And you know your flock was growing because of God. It didn't occur to you that my flock growing because of God. Now, because when I'm working for you and I'm not getting anything out of it, everything I touch is blessed by God. Now, when it's two separate piles, yours and mine, and mine grows, it doesn't occur to you that it's because of God
as well,
that mine is growing. You understand? So, but it's like the way they react, it was completely like, bro, this evil person, this enemy of mine, not considering that you have been an enemy to him this whole entire time.
Not considering that this still your brother, your son-in-law slash your cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is family? I think we said this before, but what is family in these days?
Literally, what is family, bro? Because you have twin brothers. You understand? One want to kill the next one. Come on, the other one steal from the other one. Like,
we already had brothers who killed. Well, we had a brother who killed the next one.
Right. So I don't know what is family, bro. But then let's get into what Jacob said, and because he said in verse 11.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to go to next. Go for it.
Bro, I don't know, because I don't know what to make of this, bro. In all honesty, verse 11 reads, "And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said,
Here I am.
Here am I.
Sound like Samuel.
Right. Speak, Lord. Because, bro, I know. This might just be me creating a narrative, bro.
Even though Samuel ain't happened yet, but still.
Right. But Jacob, like, to me, he's speaking in a voice where he's just like ultimate victim. So
it's like, let's think about this too now. Because we know how like this where this narrative is going. Think about it. You are talking to your wives about the wrongdoing their father has done to you. So now Jacob isn't trying. Because like we say all the time, these were real human beings. This isn't someone writing up or creating a fictional character in a storybook or a movie scene. So we really could see like how Jacob probably would have been talking like this, because he is trying to paint the narrative that, guess what? I am the good guy here, and I'm the one who's being wronged for working 20 years for your father. Granted, it should have only been 6 + 7, because the first 7 I work in vain because I ain't signed up for Leah.
But seriously though, bro, it's what he says in verse 12 that really confuses me, no lie, because he said, verse 12 is, and he said, lift up now thine eyes. This is the angel of God speaking, and see all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring straight, speckled and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban doneth unto thee. So this right here leads me to believe that God arranged for it to be like this, right? But that confuses me because Jacob came up with this master plan to come out on top anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So like, to me, it's like, was Jacob moving sneaky, or did Jacob get this dream from God?
And see, that's what I try to figure out, because like the only dream we would have really being referenced would be the dream in chapter 28, the one when he was at Bethel, right? So I'm trying to like even go back and try to see now, like, okay, well, how did that interaction go? Because I don't remember. I don't remember God breaking down all of this to him then.
Right. So the way I see in it, right, is like, bro, this 6 years ago, when the agreement happened, it was 6 years ago, bro. You just bringing it up now because y'all getting into an argument or y'all have a conflict or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have happened the whole time, but it wasn't nothing worth saying until now, because now
Until
you have
now.
to plead your innocence. Yeah, exactly. But to me, I kind of believe that he struck up this deal with Laban, and God came to him and reassured him and say, bro, trust me, bro. Look at this dream. All them gonna be strickled and speckled and stuff like that, because I see how Laban do you, bro. And now it's time for you to get yours.
And so
You know?
now here's a follow-up question. So if we say God already showed him that this is going to happen, why force the issue?
Right. So like that's why I kind of thinking, bro, he come up with this plan first and then God reassure him. You know what I mean? Because like to me, like if I didn't read verse 31, just reading verse 30, I'm like, oh, your boy back at it again. You understand? But
Yeah.
now when he expressing his grievances, it's like, okay, I see how God even ordained it. So now Jacob, if we just was to read verse 31, just isolate it, you look at him like, oh man, look at this guy, but that's so messed up, bro. We worked this long in X, Y, Z, but you don't think about the type of mind that Jacob has.
Exactly.
Like he lives up to his name.
Very much so.
Yeah, and that's really important with Jacob. You understand? And like it's like ever since he lived up to his name that first time, that follow him no matter where he gone.
It was like one
Amen.
cascading bad decision, and then he just keep on falling back into his old ways.
Yep.
So now we see he just continues, I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed the pillar and where you made the vow to me. So this echoing back to chapter 28 again in the Bible. Now arise, get out of this land and return to the land of your family. So now this way it gets interesting to me again. Well, I mean, the whole story is interesting, but in verse 14, when Rachel and Leah said unto him, hold on, is there still any portion left of the inheritance for us in our father's house?
But think about how naive of a question that is, bro. No, consider it, right? Because like I imagine that Jacob come to them, like he ain't come to them too aggressive. Because I feel like, you know, this still their daddy they talking about, you know, whom they should love or may have a lot of respect for. You know what I'm saying? So he coming to them like he ain't trying to badmouth their daddy too bad. He just trying to be objective with the whole situation, right? But they ain't even care about y'all two beef.
No.
Like I don't care what y'all two got going on.
No.
Hold on now. Y'all complaining about money so much, but we supposed to have that dowry that you work 14 years for. That's supposed to be there. So what's the complaint about money? Is it not there anymore?
I want you to break that down again, because people of them might not really understand like why they were so concerned that anything else was left. So I want you to break that down for like the listeners.
All right, right. So last week I think we started to touch on it, but I'll just like echo it a little bit. So in those days and in certain customs, when you approach somebody's father for their daughter's hand in marriage, a lot of times you have to prove stability to them. So the father would set a price. Basically, I look at it like this. My daughter lives a certain type of lifestyle. And if you can't give me, put in regular terms right now, if you can't give me $20,000 right now, if you show me that you can't support, if you don't have $20,000 liquid cash right now, I don't feel confident as a father for you to take care of my daughter and her lifestyle. So what you would do is you would give that money to the father, or you would put in the amount of work to fulfill those wages. And after the wedding ceremony, the father's supposed to gift it back to gifted back to the daughter as a gift. So with the 7-year thing, it might seem a bit weird that he had to work for his wife, because until now we had never seen somebody actually even do anything like that. But Laban was basically saying, my daughter is worth 7 years of work, right? Now, remember with Isaac and with Eliezer, when he came for Rebecca, they came with all of Abraham's riches. You understand?
They could afford it.
And Abraham was a wealthy man. So he's saying, listen to me. And this was Laban he was dealing with. You could name a price and I could pay that for you. Look at all the riches. Laban, he didn't even waste time. He said, who am I to stop the work of the Lord? You understand? It's the Lord now. You understand? But later on, we can see where it's your God. Hey, when God come to Laban one-on-one, it's like your God spoke to me. But back then it was like the work of the Lord type of situation, right? So basically Laban was saying, my daughter's worth 7 years of work. Now, Jacob, he did not receive the birthright because he had to run away from Esau. So he came to Laban empty-handed. He didn't have any money. So he said, man, I'll just work. We don't know what the dollar amount really was, but we know it was equivalent to 7 years. And then he had to do that for 2 daughters. So that's 14 years of work. You know what I'm saying? So now, 20 years later, right? So these daughters, right? So these daughters saying, "Oh man, our husband working hard," and it's like it all gonna come together at the end of the day because when we move, probably we're gonna get that dowry back that you worked 14 years for, you know. And I'm sure that gave them a lot of peace of mind, seeing how hard he worked because they're like, man,
all the kids they got,
right? So it's like, man, it's all gonna work out. It's like a trust fund or something, you know. When you reach 18 years old. I'm going to get this. You could grow up poor, but you might have that trust fund. And you say, once I touch 18, I'm going to get that. And it's going to elevate our lives in some point. So now here it is. Fast forward. Jacob is talking their ears off about all of this stuff that they probably already know. And they probably thinking, wait, why it even come to this, bro? Don't we still have the dowry?
Exactly.
You know, like why y'all arguing over 6 years of work when we have 14 years worth of money sitting, you know? And that's when they hit, right. That's when it hit the fan for them. Like, oh, wait, hold on. Our father did not give us anything out of the 14 years of labor. Nothing for us.
And that just shows us how we say Laban was so big-eyed, wanting all the wealth, wanting everything that he didn't even really save anything for his 2 daughters. Like you would think at least saying, yeah, this could be your own, but nope, didn't happen. And you see, they say, for these riches which God has taken from your father, from our father, are really ours and our children's. Now then, whatever God has said to you, do it. Like they say, okay, yeah, we've heard enough.
Yeah,
like all of this, and you know what's so funny, Jacob? I could see him planning out his whole long argument, laying out his case and pleading, like, okay, this is what I gotta say. And the one thing, all he had to do was go to Rachel and Leah and say, guess what? Yeah, the dowry I worked for, your daddy doesn't have it anymore, and he doesn't intend to give it to us. So I'm about to head out. And it'd have been like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough for me. You see Jacob do all of this, bro. He tell you about the 10-year X, Y, Z, and I know I beating a dead horse, but I understand. I feel like he said it this way because it's a sensitive topic. This your daddy we talking about. You know, I don't want to offend you. You know,
Exactly.
It's a touchy subject. But I feel like this is a family trait at this point, bro. It's about money. You know what I mean? You do this stuff to make your brothers and your father want to harm me. And I assume you might want to harm me too if you realize what I done. But then when I realize why you done it, it's like, oh, do whatever God tell you to do it, bro. I with you, bro. I feel you. Yeah, like you justified in that, you know?
So now we see Jacob gathered up his children, his wives. He put them on camels. He carried all of his livestock, all of his possessions, everything he acquired in Padan Aram, and he left. And then so Laban had gone to share his sheep, and Rachel had stolen, and like she went inside the house and she stole his idols. Which you see that now Laban was worshiping his idols. So we could see now why it was like not longer our God, what God had said. He had his own little idols going on. But Rachel, you know, the wife that Jacob really wanted, stole her father's idols. And I am assuming this is in spite because you didn't leave anything for us. So I'm going to take something that you possess and take it with me.
Right. I agree. And we just speculating. But let me tell you why I agree, bro. Imagine in your whole house, Earl. Imagine if I just sneak out in the middle of the night, right? And I steal your trumpet, right? Bro, you know how long it might take for you to realize your trumpet missing, bro?
Exactly.
One day you might wanna play the trumpet. You're like, where my trumpet is? And you might not even suspect that I took it, right? But when they left, this was noticeable. It was noticeable that this thing was gone. One, it could have been that this might have been a big idol, which I doubt. But two, it could show the importance, how important it was to Laban that he would just notice it was missing right off the bat.
I mean, my version say idol. So look at it. I mean, I was talking more than one.
Yeah. Mine say images. So yeah, it's multiple. Right. She just gone crazy.
She just went and took all of them, in my
I
opinion.
get my money. Don't worry, I get my money's worth.
I don't even think like it might not even be like a money's worth thing. I mean, it depends what the adults were made out of. But it just might have been like, guess what? You took something that we hold daily, and we're gonna take. I'm gonna take something from you that you hold daily, and you're gonna miss it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she take it when he wasn't even there. Like she say, okay, he's gone away while the cat's away, the mouse will play. That's essentially what happened.
Yep.
And I wonder who Rachel learned these deceptive tactics from. Did she learn it from Jacob or did she learn it from Laban?
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. See, but my thing is, bro, at the end of the day, bro, it's just hereditary at this point, bro. It is hereditary, bro. You know what I mean? Because, Jacob's mom, what her name is? Rachel? Rebecca is the one who egged Jacob on to act like that in the first place, and that's Laban's sister.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like this whole family, bro, it ain't above them to move to steal, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it ain't above them to steal, just straight up. Especially not from their family members, bro. Hey, I don't even see them stealing from other people, bro. But their family ain't safe, bro.
No.
You know what I mean?
The family is fair game. So now after she stole the idols, she went away, she went back to Jacob, and like they all left in the middle of the night. And so now Laban realized this 3 days later. And I'm like, how you realize this 3 days later?
3 days later, you wouldn't even realize they gone?
Like day one? I'm wondering how much you even used to talk to Jacob, or you just saying like since Jacob is in the field attending to sheep, you wouldn't even realize that he gone.
That's what I think. And I think in the field might have been a while away, because remember when I was saying remember, but this in the future, when Joseph had to travel so far to go and see his brothers who was in the field, you understand? So I guess sometimes like where you live is like not in close proximity to where the best place to like herd and and graze and stuff.
Okay, so now after this, Laban took his sons and his whoever he needed to, and he pursued them for a week, 7 days. And he overtook them. And so now I'm thinking like you have a 3-day head start, but you still got caught.
Yeah. But then at the same time, bro, one person, like they running away, but then one person chasing and they angry. You know what I mean? Like it's like the chase might be a more determinant factor in this journey. You know what I'm saying?
And then like one party is probably more streamlined than the other two.
And then one probably and then he have kids and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you might not be able to travel as fast with all the kiddies.
With your whole herd and everything. Right. And the extra idols that you don't know you got.
Just extra baggage. You know what I'm saying?
So now it's interesting. So now in verse 24, we see where God came to Laban in the night by dream. But he said, be careful what you speak to Jacob. I want to see what your version say. My version says, don't say anything, like don't speak to Jacob, neither good nor bad.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
I'm like,
what mine says as well.
Why not good though?
No, what I think, you know what I think that means, bro? I think that means, Laban, don't go to Jacob and threaten him, but you better go back or I'll kill you. That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like God also saying, don't go to Jacob and say, Jacob, if you come back, I can give you a big raise. You understand? So don't bribe him and don't threaten him. So don't say nothing to him, good nor bad. You know what I mean? Because technically he did say something to him. You know what I'm saying?
He did say something to them too. Like, and I was trying to figure out, I like the way you say that just now.
Yeah, because when I was reading, I was like, bro, but you did say so. Because like, if God tell me don't say nothing to you, good nor bad, I just keeping it shut. I just, you know what I mean? I'm
gonna write it
quiet.
on paper.
Right, exactly. Because I don't want to say nothing to you because I fear God in that type of way. But I feel like he was saying, bro, don't say nothing enticing, and don't say nothing threatening about this situation. You know? So
yeah, all right. So that makes sense. So now we see Laban finally caught up to Jacob, and he was, in a very understandable way, very aggravated, perturbed, annoyed, a little bit slight concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, what have you done? That you have stolen away unknown to me and carried away my daughters like captives taken with a sword. Why did you go away secretly? Why did you steal from me? Why didn't you tell me? For I might have sent you off with a timbrel and a harp. And timbrel is just like a tambourine. I really wonder how their music, this is a side note, I really wonder how their music really sounded back in the day. Because I can't really picture a tambourine and a harp being played at the same time and me enjoying
it.
that melody.
Yeah, well, it probably was hitting, bro, because that was his bargaining chips when he come. Because I wouldn't have come, he ain't come like half stepping. Man, I would have sent you away with XYZ. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See, because I noticed, like, to the point where I was making, he ain't say nothing to say state. But he's saying, man, if you'd have shown me this,
I'd have sent you up with this fanfare.
I would have set you up, but we would have do it big. We'd have had a nice party, and we used to do it. You know what I mean? Which I ain't buying it personally.
No, I'm not at all. And then he was saying, okay, and you didn't allow me to kiss my sons or daughters. Well, and his grandchildren and his daughters. And he pretty much called Jacob a fool.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, guess what? It is in my and see, would this be considered bad? It is in my power to harm you.
Mm-hmm.
But the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, be careful and do not speak to Jacob, neither good or bad.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, and that was my point there, because he didn't say, bro, but only true God tell me, XYZ. But he said, by the God of your father, come to me. You know what I mean? And like, we see he already come to say, why you stole from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Jacob probably assuming he mean the sheep and the cattle.
Children, yeah. If I was Jacob, that's what I'd be thinking too.
Right. But he have a different, like, I feel like he have something like that he could legitimately be upset about, like he upset really about all of the money and the cattle and stuff, but he could channel all of his anger just over these one idols. You know what I mean? Because there's something God ain't tell you I'll take.
Exactly.
And there's something you weren't supposed to have anyway. So that's where he pivot everything too,
And so we see Laban asks Jacob, okay, I see you want to go back to your father's house. That's cool with me. But why did you steal my gods? Why you steal them? And so now Jacob was like, hold on. Because I was afraid, for I said, perhaps you might take your daughters away from me by force. So this was him saying, Jacob trying to go back and answer all the questions I was asking him before. So the reason why I didn't tell you, because I didn't want you to keep your daughters or like take them away from me by force, even though I worked 7 years, like 7 years for each of them. That part right there. That 7 years part wasn't in the Bible. That was just me, adding context. With whoever you find your gods, do not let them live. In the presence of your brethren, identify what I have of yours and take it with you. But Jacob did not know Rachel had stolen them. So now that's a key thing. So we see what Jacob say, guess what? I know I ain't take your gods, so I really don't care. And to him, he say, my wives shouldn't have taken your gods. Mm-hmm. So out of all these maid servants and other shepherd and other people I have working for me, whoever you find these idols, but you could kill them.
Right. And that's speaking out of confidence too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, bro, I know me and mine ain't deal with that. This is another thing. This ain't got nothing to do with us. So, bro, it's to the point where, bro, I'm so confident with this, bro. Whoever you find with it, kill them, bro. Because one, it either you lying and no one steal your thing. So I know you ain't gonna find it. Or two, whoever steal it is somebody who ain't really that remote to me, maybe a servant or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But bro, how you can be riding with your wife and kids and it didn't occur to you that there's a small percent chance, but there is a chance that it's one of them? But guess what? But think about it though, bro. Think about how the regard for human life back then, bro. I don't want you to kill no one who I'm riding with. You know what I mean?
They don't care. I mean, but at the same time, too, I think in Jacob's mind, I still serve the one true living God. So no one under my roof right now, especially, my kid's still young, no one under my roof should be serving any other false gods, including your daughters, because they are my wives and they are under my household now. So I think, and I said, that's why I think in Jacob's mind, he was like, guess what? I know with a reasonable guarantee that all of these people are not, whoever got your idols are not a part of my immediate family and my immediate camp. So if you could identify them, fine, go for it, kill them, Granted, they was serving a God that I ain't for anyway, so they have no purpose, no use to me.
Mm-hmm. But I still feel like that's a bold statement to say. Oh, just kill it, right? We ain't gotta mince words, bro.
No.
Whoever you find it on, bro, kill them, bro. Kill them, dog.
Kill them. So now we see Jacob, not Jacob. Laban went to Jacob's tent, didn't find them. He went to Leah's tent, didn't find them. He went to the maid's tents, didn't find them.
Mm-hmm.
Now he went from Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. And so we know Rachel have the idols, right? But she put them in the camel's saddle, like under the camel's saddle.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sat on it. And Laban searched all around the tent and didn't find them. And she said, Daddy, hey, guess what? I can't get up off of this saddle.
Why?
Because my period is on.
That's a big line, bro. That's a big line, bro.
Now, the Bible doesn't elaborate if Rachel was on a period or not.
Mm-hmm.
In the true essence of the word.
True, right.
But it's just funny how there's nothing new under the sun.
Bro, it's just funny how, like father, like daughter in a way, bro. I ain't gonna say they shiesty or nothing like that, but all I'm saying is you steal your daddy idols. And you was able to finesse your way out of it. Because that response was good enough for him to say, all right, well, yeah, I ain't bothering with that. Think about it, bro. You check everywhere except for this saddle. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she probably know her daddy, like, to the point where her daddy, like, oh, I ain't good with this type of stuff. Oh, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I ain't gonna mess with this.
Yeah. So yeah, bro, she get away with it.
But that's so funny too. But then at the same time, think about it. Like how I'm thinking about it too. Laban probably wouldn't even really expect Rachel to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't search every place else. And he's like, well, I didn't search everywhere else in this tent. How could it possibly be in this, like, under the camel?
Mm-hmm.
I could kind of see him saying, okay, I ain't want to bother you because it ain't like you laying in a bed. You know what I'm saying? Like you sitting on top of the camel and the thing is under the camel's saddle. But the only place I ain't check is under this camel's saddle. What are the odds of it being there? But I didn't check everybody else.
And truth be told, he probably thought Jacob had it. Period. You know what I'm saying? So I think his beef was probably with Jacob the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
And then when he didn't find it on Jacob, he was like, okay, well, I'm going to just check every place else just in case. But
yeah, he probably, would take no delight in killing his daughters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he probably thinking in his mind, bro, even if you have it, I wouldn't do it to you anyway. So I could just let it slide. Or in my book, or in my, what I get from it is, she was able to finesse Laban.
No, she finessed him one shot.
Yeah, trick him. You know, like when you see somebody in sports, they do a juke or like a fake and the person bite. That's Rachel the whole time.
Because in my opinion, she was saying, guess what? I got to lie because if she didn't have a real fear of her daddy killing her, she might have come back and say, yeah, daddy, I took him. And try to call his bluff. He was like, I ain't even going to try call your bluff. I'd rather just finesse you.
Yeah. And it worked.
It worked cleanly.
So it's funny because Jacob completely unaware of this, right? And it's just so funny to see how Jacob give it up after this. Because right after this is when he snapped. You understand? It's like when someone accuses you of lying, bro, and you ain't lying. You know what I mean? And they accusing you of doing all of this stuff, and the truth end up coming out, and you end up being exonerated or proven innocent. Exactly. And you're like, nah, and you put me through all of this XYZ. We see Jacob really snap, bro.
Bro, go for it.
Yeah, bro. We see 20 years of anger was expressed.
Frustration.
And frustration came down to this one point where my boy really got to vent and get it all out. Oh, verse 37. Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that thou may judge betwixt us both. Now you going back to the 20 years. The scene even have nothing to do with the idols at this point.
Bing.
This 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy goats has not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. So now he's saying, bro, I done work for you 20 years, bro. Bro, out of this 20 years, I never even said, let me take one lamb just to eat. You know what I mean? Just to love myself or nothing like that. Just, I was being completely strict with all of this. Verse 39, that which was torn of beasts, I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Bro, and now you understand where Jacob is in a deal where Laban receives all of the revenue, but Jacob still bears the expenses of it. So
all the losses, yep.
All of the losses, bro. So if they out by night, now granted, your body requires rest. If you have 100 sheep in the middle of the night, if a wolf break into your flock and injure one of the sheep or kill the sheep, Jacob saying, I didn't even bring that to you, bro. I ain't even tell you about it, hoping you could understand, because I know I am responsible to repay you for any loss. So I ain't even come with you to that. I just buy a new sheep or I give you the money straight up. You understand what I say? So, well, how it is you working and you have to pay your boss, bro? You understand what I saying? That remind me of when I used to work, bro, 2 jobs I had like that. When I was a cashier and when I used to work for the moving company. You moving, your body is fatigued after a while, especially if you work like 10 plus hours and stuff or it's nighttime. Bro, things are more liable to break when you're tired or when your mind is like restless and stuff like that. So you end up breaking something. Depending on the item, you might not get a check.
Ouch.
You know, that might be your whole check right there. The same thing with cashier. Like if you in the fast-paced system, if you give someone the wrong change, you know, or you forget to do this or that, and you end up making a mistake, depending on the amount of money it is, that's gonna come out your check. You know? So like to me, it's like, bro, it almost defeats the point of working. I come here to make money, bro. I ain't come here to lose money. You know what I'm saying? And so now you can tell this a man, this is best chance to actually express his grievances to his former employer. And he is not letting this opportunity pass him by, right? Verse 40, thus I was. In the day, the drought consumed me, and the frost by night.
Mercy.
You know? And my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I... Huh?
I was just saying, he just letting it all out.
I'm telling you, bro, thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters and 6 years for thy cattle. And thou hast changed my wages 10 times.
10 times.
Bro.
10 times.
Bro, you can see.
Frustrated.
Bro, you can see that 10 times thing really bought him for sure, bro. You know what I mean? And like, to me, it's just like, it's an interesting situation where you know you don't have any leverage, bro. You know, you kind of like I don't want to say a fugitive, but you know, this is the only gig you could get. And your boss noticed the only gig you could get.
You know? Captive.
Right. And so because of that, he could do whatever he wants to because you can't go nowhere else. You know, you can't work for your father. Your father passed away. Oh, no, I don't think he even passed away yet. Or maybe.
I think he has.
But then watch this. You can't work for your father because your brother, then he waiting for you. So you can't even go back on that side. It's like 300 plus miles away by horse or camel. You know what I mean? This is just a couple of days journey, or if not weeks. You know what I'm saying? So he knows. So Laban understands the situation that he has Jacob in, and he completely took advantage of that. And Jacob had to just say, okay, you know what it is, bro? I tell you, bro, I could pay you like $100 a week after you working like 60 plus hours this week, you know, I paying you a little $100 and that's only enough for you to feed all your family. You know what I'm saying? And then one day like, man, it could be 90, bro. And then I keep going, but you working 20 years. That means every 2 years, I change your wage in a way that bother you.
That bothered you and that was less fair than before.
Exactly. Bro, that ain't sweet. That's 20 years of your career, bro. You know what I mean? So he have a legitimate claim. And I'm glad he get to get it all out. You know what I'm saying? Verse 42, except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God had seen mine affliction and the labor of my hands and rebuked thee yesternight. Right? So basically he's saying, bro, you screw me over for 20 years. We understand the magnitude of what he screwed me with. And he said, bro, honest to God, if it wasn't for God, bro, and you know which God I talking about, you can send me away empty-handed. That's why God come to you and rebuke you last night. But you know what's so funny, bro? My boy Laban ain't even say sorry, bro.
No.
Laban ain't even elaborate on that, bro.
Is it almost funny? I almost like Laban's response.
But
like Laban could be a politician because Laban is a perfect man of not answering, not addressing the issue at hand.
All right then.
He was like, okay, guess what? These daughters are my daughters. These children are my children. This flock is my flock. All that you see is mine. He ain't care about his affliction.
But he's so media. Bro, this guy is media trained, bro. You ain't gonna mix Laban up, bro.
No, but he said, but what can I do this day to these daughters or to their children whom they have born? Now come here. Let's make a covenant between you and me. These people back in the day, covenants was the real thing.
See, and that's why this how you know these were true servants of God. I talking about Jacob and Abraham, bro. Because, bro, you in a faraway land, bro, and you keep building wells, right? And I don't remember if it's Abraham or Isaac, but people I think it was Isaac. People keep filling up your wells with dirt, bro.
That was Abraham too with Abimelech.
Yeah, right. And now this Abraham, remember, he had trained soldiers and he already proven and he already well respected. And whoever curse you shall be cursed. So Abraham have a lot on his side. When he approached them, it's let's make a truce, bro. It's peace, bro. Let's just talk it out so that no one have to get hurt. And everything from here on out is like an agreement between us. You know what I'm saying? And like in the human aspect, it's like, no, bro, they gotta feel. For every action, there's an exact and opposite reaction. So I want you, like personally, I feel like I would be satisfied to see a reaction, but then guess what? Vengeance is the Lord's.
I saith the Lord. Yep.
Exactly. So as humans, it really ain't our place to take matters in our own hands, because at the same time, we don't know personally, we don't know what a fair, like what a fair reaction could even be. Only God know how to punish somebody for their wrong deeds. You understand what I'm saying? And then God don't want us to be thinking with an evil mindset. Right. You understand? Like God wants us to be on that love tip. So it's like, Laban is the villain. I want to see the villain lose, right? But you're really getting that satisfaction, that payoff. You understand?
You're getting like it's like a Disney ending for everybody.
Right. But honestly, Laban's interaction and the role that he played in Jacob's life, bro, is very entertaining to me, because it's like you see people like this in real life, bro. You see narcissistic people. You see people who are only interested in improving themselves. And if you had to help me improve, we solid, but we ain't friends. At the end of the day, don't forget that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like that still ain't a license to repay evil with evil. So now Laban say, let's make a treaty, let's make a truce, let's make a covenant. And Jacob ain't saying, no, boy, I want God mess you up. You know what I mean? And you know Jacob hurt by this, you know? Yeah. But he accept the covenant, you know?
So now we see with the covenant, Jacob set up a pillar and they gathered stones and they made a heap and they ate there. They had, some food. And then Laban called it, here we go. Jegar Sarah Dutha. And Jacob called it Galid.
He said, that name too confusing, man. We need to do something.
Yeah, we need something else. But they both mean this heap is a witness between you and me this day. Therefore, the name was Galid, also Mizpah. And because they said, may the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from another. And boy, this every day at the end of school.
Boy, that's a popular one.
We would say this in prayer form, because we would just say amen at the back of it. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. Amen. I just showed they parted ways peacefully. They said, the Lord watch between us, watch over us while we're absent one from another. And it goes on to say, if you afflict my daughters, or if you take Otherwise, beside my daughters, although no man is with us, see, God is a witness between you and me.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Laban kind of like slide that one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you ain't taking no other females besides my daughters.
He bully him in the name of God. Cause like I don't think Laban is a bad father, right? Like I feel like he cares for his daughters and stuff like that. But when it comes to like money and stuff, like that's where Laban, I don't see him as somebody who is generous in that way. Like I still feel like he cares for his daughters and they all have love for each other or whatever. But when it comes to money, he just greedy, Like he'll steal from his daughters, but he'll still provide for them and love them and make sure ain't no man treating them wrong,
And so we see that was Laban part of the deal, and then Jacob's part, the part where Jacob threw him was saying, "This pillar is a witness that you will not pass beyond this heap, and I will not pass beyond this heap as well, and you cannot pass beyond this pillar to harm me." And then like the God of Abraham, the God of Nahor, the God of their father, be a judge between us. And they swore this to each other in the fair of Isaac, and then they offered a sacrifice on that mountain. And they called their brethren to eat bread. And they eat bread and stayed on the mountain all night. They had a very fun occasion eating bread. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And then we see Laban left in the next morning. And so now that's the end of chapter 31. And now we get to chapter 32. And this is where things starts to take a little turn. So now Jacob had this peaceful separation from Laban, his uncle. So now we see 2 angels of God came to meet Jacob on his way. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." And he called this place, you want to try that one? Mahanaim.
Yeah, bro. Good job. That's how to do it.
Yeah, so now to paint this in context now, so we know Jacob is on the way back to the land of his father. And so who is in the land of his father? His twin brother, the
arch
one
nemesis
he, stole the birthright from. So Esau is there waiting on him.
So it's like in them video games when you pass one master and then you
pass
have
one
big,
board.
Yeah, right. You pass one, and then you have the other person you have to defeat, and then you have the grandmaster waiting for you. That's the way I envision the adventures of McRabbie, aka Jacob, bro. Because it's like this guy really is in constant conflict, bro. Ever since he stole the birthright, bro, no cap. He is in constant conflict with somebody. And there's a serious battle he in with somebody the whole time.
He can't rest. I think
But you know what it is, bro? You have strife with your employer for 20 years, also your father-in-law, and you finally get on top in some type of way. Now he want to kill you, and you all just hash everything out. You get everything off your chest, bro. You feel free, but you still instructed to go to the land of your father based on God. And as soon as y'all get done, you remember, I have other enemies.
I have to deal with Esau now.
Now you have to prepare for it. It's like in the playoffs, right? You might go to a game 7 and you end up advancing in that first round. And that's a good victory. But you're like, oh man, I got another one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's another battle now. I can't even rejoice because it's another battle I'm facing.
Yeah. So now we see Jacob sends 2 servants ahead and saying, okay, go to Esau and say, "My lord Esau, thus thy servant Jacob says, I have dwelt with Laban and stayed there until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male and female servants, and I have sent to tell my lord that I might find favor in your sight." So now it's a couple interesting things that we see there. We see Jacob saying, "My lord Esau," and he also says, "Thy servant Jacob." And you might wonder why is Earl pointing this out? Because remember the prophecy and the promise God made to, was it Rebecca at the time, saying the younger will rule over the older, or the older will serve the younger. So Esau is the older one, but now Jacob is trying to flip it so he doesn't anger Esau or bring back any bitterness. And then the next thing to remember too, Jacob left the birthright and the inheritance there. So now Esau is in possession of all of Isaac's possessions.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have your brother coming back after these 20 years. You like, what are he coming back for? He coming back for his possessions that are mine now, but technically is his. So you see the strips. So now you see the stripes. So now we see why Jacob trying to say, guess what? Yeah, your Lord Esau, I'll be a humble servant. I have donkeys, I have flocks, I have everything. I'm coming for peace. I ain't coming for no war. I ain't coming to cause no trouble. I just coming for peace. And so now Jacob got some bad news back from these servants. They say, yeah, we went to your brother, but he's coming to meet you and he has 400 men with him.
Think about this though, bro. He sent a message to Esau, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't come back with no message neither, you know.
No.
They ain't come back with a message saying, no, your brother accept it or don't accept it or nothing. Esau ain't even reply to them, bro.
Nope.
They come back saying their observation, bro. Oh, well, we saw Esau, you know, and you got all them oxen and all the flocks and men servants. Oh, but he have 400 men, bro. Just letting you know, just a heads up.
And he's coming to meet you. And because here's the thing too. Here's the thing too. They didn't said we came to Esau, but Esau didn't even acknowledge anything else. He just said, "Yeah, I'm coming to Jacob."
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't care what he got right now. No. This man still tried to rob me, trying to come back and claim was his, but mine. No, I'm coming to meet him,
bro.
He still got to answer for his sins.
Right. This whole 20 years, your boy getting beat up by his line of work. He can't sleep. He have to worry about money and all of this and that. Whereas his twin brother for 20 years could have been training, just building up his men. Because he have 400 men, bro. You might have 400 sheep.
400 trained men.
But I got the muscle behind me, bro. Like, that's crazy. That remind me of other superhero references where, you know, the relative is upset about something, so he just was training all this time to come see you. We ain't even got to get too deep into it. But this another point added to my theory that a lot of superhero movies and a lot of movies that we like is bite from the Bible. You understand that?
From the Bible.
Get their plot from the Bible, straight up. And we can continue doing this, and I can keep bringing it up every time, you know?
Yeah, so now just to like run through it, we see Jacob gets pretty concerned. So now he said, okay, he divided his encampment into two companies with all the herds and the camels and the people. And he said, okay, one of you guys can go across the river. So if Esau attacks one company, the next one shall at least be able to flee. So he literally is splitting up his family and his herd to give at least one half a fighting chance when Esau comes to attack. Because this just shows these people weren't trained at the time.
It's pessimistic. It's pessimistic, but it's smart at the same time. You know what I mean? Because as far as he's concerned, bro, all of us together, we're going to lose, right? But if we split up in two, only one group can lose. The other group can get away.
But now, this is the part I really think is smart. So he did this. He separated everybody first, but now he said, okay, I have no place else to turn but to God.
Mm-hmm.
And we see him like in a moment of, I would say, desperation. Oh God, of Father Abraham, Isaac, and of my father Abraham and of my father Isaac. The Lord said to me, return to my country and to your family, and I will deal with you. I am not worthy of least of all of thy mercies and of all the truth which you have shown your servant. For I have crossed over this Jordan with my staff, and now I have become two companies. Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I am scared of him. Lest he come and attack me, and the mother with the children. For you said, I will surely treat you well, and make your descendants as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. So now we could just see Jacob in this moment of desperation saying, Lord, I know I don't deserve your mercies. I ain't worthy of them. But I am admitting I am scared of what Esau is capable of. Lord, I already tried to split my party in two. I am over here with just my staff, Lord, just help me. I am claiming the promise that you promised. That's the one thing I can hold on to. You say you was, and I like him just trying to remind God, you said, surely you'll treat me well and make my descendants numerous. That can't happen if I did, Lord.
Right. Right.
And then so we see Jacob just camped up there that same night and took what came to his hand and presented to his brother Esau. So he took goats. He took 200 female goats, 20 male goats, 200 female sheep, 20 male sheep, 30 milking cows with their colts, 30 camels, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 foals. And he delivered them to the hand of his servants, ever drove by himself to his servants, and then passed over before me and put distance between successive droves. And he commanded the first one, saying, when Esau, my brother, meets you and asks, saying, to whom do you belong and where are you going? Who are these in front of you? Then you shall say, they are your servants, Jacob. It is a present to you and Lord Esau. And behold, he is also behind us. So I like how Jacob was trying to do it too. He said, guess what? I can send these in successive waves to Esau. And when Esau keep on asking y'all who y'all are and where y'all going, just say, yeah, this is a gift from Jacob, he behind. So you get this happening to you about like 10 times. This is a gift from Jacob, he behind. This is a gift from Jacob, he behind. This is a gift from Jacob, he behind. And you see Jacob just trying to say, Esau, please forgive me.
Yeah, bro.
Please forgive me. Even if you don't forgive me, don't kill me.
Yeah,
just accept my gifts. Spare my life.
20 years, man. It's been 20 years, bro. Give me a pass, bro. Give me a blight. You know what I mean?
Now we see Jacob didn't even really go. He just stayed there that night and slept, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now Jacob's in the middle of, I guess, the desert and this mountain area. In his mind, he thinks Esau is still coming to kill him. Well, I mean, he doesn't think. He knows Esau is coming to meet him. So now in the middle of the night, he took his 2 wives and their female servants and 11 sons and crossed over the river. He took them and sent them over the brook, and he sent over what he had, and they left him alone. And then in the middle of the night, he felt a strong hand on him. And a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day.
Bro, do you know what type of strength, stamina, and or endurance you have to have, bro, to wrestle all night until the daybreak, bro? Trust me, dog. Like, you know, when you boxing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
boxing was just gonna be my reference, bro, because like each round in boxing is 3 minutes, and there's 12 rounds in boxing. You know how tiring that is for boxers? Like for a boxer to go the distance is really a battle of endurance. So why do you think boxers like trying to get a KO in like round 5 and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
When they realize they ain't knock you and it's like a round 7, they are winded and they are gassed. They are gassed, bro.
Bro, imagine when they go to round like 11, they be looking so sluggish. Like round 12, they start to get a little more alive because they like, man, I need to get some points before then.
Because like, I obviously ain't knocking him out. So.
Right. But yeah, bro, they tired. And these are men and women who train hard
for this moment.
For that moment. You know what I'm saying? And my boy, he wrestling, and he's not wrestling with a human being.
No.
And he going the distance until daybreak.
But my thing is, why Jacob didn't ask or didn't like say something like, why y'all wrestling all night in silence?
Yeah.
Honestly, like if someone come to me in the middle of the night, even though I think they trying to kill me, like this Esau, like,
yeah,
suppose that was his son.
Like who sent you? Yeah,
suppose one of his sons snuck back over the river to be with their daddy in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
You about to lay hands like that?
No, but see, trust me, I ain't gonna wrestle with you all night if I recognize you. You know what I mean? Like if we get to wrestling and then like 5 minutes in, I look at you and say, oh shoot, that's you? Oh, my bot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They wrestling and he looking like, bro, I don't know who you is, but guess what? Whoever I meet in this desert while I alone, I am going to wrestle with, bro, because there's no good that's going to come out of this situation. Why you here?
I would still ask at least, like, who sent you at least? Like, who are you? Who sent you? Those are like the two Those like
Let me
the two
ask-
classic lines we've seen in every movie. Maybe
Let me
movies
ask
and stuff.
let me
spoiled
ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Let me
Uh-huh.
ask you this, bro. If you gotta get to downtown, right?
Uh-huh.
And you know, to get to downtown, you have to walk through some type of urban area. You gotta walk through like the East Street area, the Kemp Road.
Mhm.
You walk while you're walking through any of these areas, right?
I like how you call them urban. I can just let that slide, but keep going.
Right?
Keep going.
You gotta walk through the hood, bro, right?
Okay.
Bro, if someone get to wrestling with you, right? It's unlikely because of like weapons and stuff in these days, right?
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
someone getting to wrestling with you, bro, are you gonna take the time to ask them, bro, who are you?
Who you see is fighting silence. That's my question. Bro, if one person is winning the fight, they are talking trash at some level.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
losing, you trying to reason. No one was talking at all during this fight all night.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked you that because vehemence is talking, and fight, you know, and
Exactly.
discipline. Yeah, we talking all the way. You know what I mean?
They talking one shot.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're right. Who you? Where you come from? You know what I mean?
Each syllable is a hit, bro.
But yeah, but that's so peculiar, bro. But I know Jacob probably saying, dog, I don't even want to know who you is. Hey, because to him, it could suppose it's Laban come in the double back on his double cross him on his promise.
Man.
You know, it could be what's the name? Esau, one of Esau folk. Regardless of who it is, I know I in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then guess what? They catch me alone. You can't rob me because I don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I could only assume you're trying to harm me.
Mm-hmm. And so now we see before it was getting close to sunrise, and now the person finally speaks. Let me go before the day breaks. Let me go before the day breaks. That's all he said.
Mm-hmm.
And now Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. That's peculiar.
Mm-hmm.
That's peculiar. Because there's a couple of things like, now we know who Jacob was wrestling with. Because one, obviously, he was wrestling with someone who can bless him. And so now we see he was wrestling with the person who, this assailant who came to him in the middle of the night, was actually God.
Mm-hmm. And what really tipped him off is like he get to wrestling, and when the angel see that, Jacob ain't giving up, so he injure him. He touched his thigh, and he injured his thigh. And just off that touch, Jacob was like, oh.
Just think about it. Like, I just imagine God just took his like index finger and didn't even like stuff it in. Just like reached out and just like touch his hip, like touch the joint.
Look at this relentless son of mine.
And the whole hip get dislocated. And Jacob's like, hold on now. This ain't
right.
No human could do this.
Right.
No human
It's
could do
God.
this.
And then guess what? He turned up even more after that.
He get more resilient.
Right. When he see this God, he like, oh no, I just ain't letting you go. You know what I mean? Because God was trying to reason with him. God like, all right, we done wrestle all night. It getting day. I ain't trying to go through the day with you with this. You understand? Like,
but not even that too. The next important part about that too is like, no one can see the face of God because of the shining brightness and the glory. So now if you late, because think about it too, even when in this way in the future, so you're going to hear about this in probably a couple of months, but when Moses asked God to see his face, what did God tell Moses?
He could only show him his back.
God say, stand behind the rock. Stand behind the rock while I walk past. Because you can't, if you see my face, you will die.
Yeah, you're not gonna live.
So literally, so God was trying to say, guess what? The sun coming up, I'm really trying to protect you now. You need to let me go.
Yeah, that's
we could do this. We could have tangled in the night. But guess what? All my glory about to get revealed to you. You need to let me go. And Jacob was saying, I will not let you go because I need you to bless me, which is also important too, because guess what? We know Jacob was supposed to be the promise, Like he's supposed to be the promised son, essentially, because he's in the line of Isaac. Like he's supposed to be the one carrying on the birthright. But he don't forfeit all of that because of his evil deeds. He didn't forfeit all of that. So now you're supposed to be a blessing, but your whole life up to this point has been what some might call a curse. So now you back to the one, and we see earlier before how Jacob was pretty much at his wit's end, begging the Lord to protect me. And so now you're saying, guess what? I have God right in front of me right now. Lord, I will not let you go until you bless me, because I need the blessing, because I lost the blessings already. So I need the blessings now. I will not let you go until you bless me.
That's
now
powerful, bro.
And now we see what God do. God say, guess what? What is your name? And it wasn't that God needed to know his name, because I gave you your name. You know what I'm saying? Like I know everything. But now this was a test for Jacob, because we see. I know we've been on our whole saying, okay, each patriarch has to get their test. But to me, this was Jacob's test, because the last time we had an instance of Jacob getting the same question asked to him was when Isaac asked, what is your name? But then he said, my name is Esau. And that was when he was trying to lie and obtain the birthright. So he was trying to obtain the birthright by lying then. But now guess what? He said, my name is Jacob. My name is Jacob. So now instead of, you want to say something?
No, but think about this, bro. You just say, right? He ain't letting God go until he get his blessing. It was promised to him, promised to Rebecca about him, that he was going to be the one who was blessed up. You understand what I'm saying? But guess what? Let's say they say the younger one is going to rule over the older one, right? We named the younger one Jacob, which means Jacob is going to rule over Esau. When you go to Isaac and Isaac say, what your name is? You say your name is Esau, bro. Esau ain't getting no blessing, bro. So when you say you was Esau, you know what you get? You forfeit a blessing right there. You have to work 20 years. You have to work 20 years to 20. That was basically your punishment for the sin that you did right then and there. So now that it's over, we could try this again. What is your name?
What is your name? What is your name? And now we see he say your name is Jacob. So now we see Jacob accepted who he is. He accepted all the sins of the past. He already confessed some of them before. So he accepted saying, yeah, I am Jacob. I am the supplanter. I have wronged pretty much everybody that I've come in contact with in the last several years. My name is Jacob. This is who I am, Lord. My name is Jacob. And God said, okay. I see some repentance, some contrition. And guess what? Your name will no longer be Jacob. So now you're past everything that you've done under the name Jacob, the wrong that you've done to Isaac, the wrong that you've done to Laban, all the other misdeeds and the wrong you've done to Esau, and all the other turmoil and torture that you've suffered in the name Jacob. That's all in your past now. You don't have to worry about that. Here's your blessing. I'm changing your name to Israel. For you have struggled with God and man, and you have prevailed.
Ain't that something? Boy, ain't that something, bro? Because like to me, that's saying, dog, you had a rocky relationship with God. You had many rocky relationships with men, but at the end of the day, you hold firm and you end up righting your wrongs. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't allow this. You ain't allow these things to break you or to really change you or to take you off course or where you should be. You was off course, but now you get back on track. And because of that, that's what your name is. Your name is now the man who get back on track. Your name is not the man who's stealing or the man who being deceptive no more. Because that's what you were named at birth and you lived up to that name.
Boy, did you.
Right. Now, your new name is the person who struggled with God and man and have prevailed. And that's powerful, bro. That's powerful.
And it's so funny that God said you've struggled with God and you have prevailed. Like, And because the funny thing about it, right? What people got to realize is when you battle with God, you only win by losing and not by giving up until you know you've lost. So that's kind of how Jacob prevailed. Granted, he still lost.
Yeah.
He still lost, but he knew he wasn't giving up.
See, that's the faith test.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like basically he never lost faith. Even in a losing battle, his faith was still there. You know, I have faith that if I stay diligent and if I don't repay evil for evil these 14 years, it could end up working out for me. And in the next 6 years, it end up working out for him. You know what I'm saying? I have faith that if I follow God and if I trust in God to go back to this place, even though I know my brother want to kill me, it's gonna work out for me. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have backed out. You have all of these assets. You could have went to a different land.
Exactly. You
know what I'm saying? But it's the faith.
And now we see one more thing. We see Jacob said, "Tell me your name, I pray thee." And God was like, "Why is that you ask about my name?"
Right.
And God blessed him there. God gave him his blessing. But I mean, because here's the thing. God was like, "Hold on. Why are you asking my name? You already know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You already know who I am, so there's no need for you to ask who I am."
Right.
Like, why are you asking me who I am after you already asked me to bless you?
That's crazy. Just kind of remind me of when, like when the disciples, when Jesus was asking, like, who do these people say we are? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know who God is, right? But it's like it's like you know who God is, you interact with him, but you're still trying to understand who God is at the end of the day. And God is still turning around and say, why are you even asking that? You know what I mean? Like me and you been riding from time. And remember, a lot of times when God come to Jacob, he say, this is the God who we met at Bethel. You know what I'm saying? Or this is the God of your father. You know what I'm saying? This time they just start scrapping. You know what I'm saying? So basically, Jacob trying to put a face to the being. You know what I mean? Or a body to the being. And he's saying, so what your name is exactly? Just to be sure. You know what I mean? And he like,
no.
Would you, why? Like, it's basically like, why? You even have to ask, like, why are you asking? You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? After he get the blessing, it really hit Jacob. You know what I mean? Because in verse 30, Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face and my life is preserved. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows God. Because he knows God.
He knows God, and then he know this is not a common thing. I tell you, you don't be face to face with God and live to tell the tale like that. as sinful beings. But then we see even like in heaven, they talk about the angels, the cherubims who have to cover their face in the front of God, who sit at the throne because of the radiance that God's brightness went, and they're perfect beings, and they can't even take the glory of God in its fullness. That's why God the Father said, if you want to see, like that's what Jesus said, you see God through me. See God the Father through me. You ain't gonna look at his face.
All right.
But
so
you go for it?
Yeah, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, so this like a kind of like a reset. Understand? So we seeing one by one. Jacob, his slate getting clean. His slate is being cleaned one by one. So you overcome the feud with Laban. You understand what I'm saying? Everything you might have questioned, what's your relationship? Because think about Jacob. Those 20 years, all that pain and all those sleepless nights, he was guilty. God, I know I betrayed you. I betrayed my brother. You don't know where you stand with God. That's why God have to come to you in the night and show you the ladder. God have to do these things just to keep your faith, just to give you hope. And now it's basically, this is the physical form of what happened with Laban, where he get to express all of his grievances and his frustrations, right? He do that via wrestling and holding on tight to God. Now you get to be passionate with God. And as a result, you get to have a covenant with God at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So you just build a covenant with Laban. You build a covenant with God. And at the end of all of this, it's like, bro, Jacob is no more, bro. Now it's time for, you have a clean slate. You are not Israel. You prove yourself.
Israel.
You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like just to even wrap it up, bro, no matter what we go through, in life or where we come from, it's like we can't out-sin God's love for us. You could do something so unforgivable in your human mind, but that don't mean you can't reconcile your relationship with God. When you and God reconcile all of this stuff, you no longer associated with the sins of your past.
Wow. What a night for the patriarch Jacob, now called Israel. And may I say, what a sigh of relief that he has now settled his conflicts with Laban, his former employer, and God. But on his return to the land of his father, there was still one more obstacle Jacob had to face: his indignant brother Esau. But we'll talk more about their family reunion on the next episode of A Breath of Fresh Air. Tonight's episode included voice acting by Jenae Roberts, along with your hosts, Earl Roberts and Nakhaz. Remember to go ahead and research on your own in order to get a more firm understanding of tonight's episode. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. You can follow us on social media at A Breath of Fresh Air Pod on Instagram and BOFAPOD on Twitter. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week.